Hello, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising. Welcome to your tarot/astrology reading for summer 2021. This reading will apply from today until September 6th, 2021. So for the next 2 months is what we're covering today for you. And I'm actually recording your reading separately and last. On the 1st of July, Thursday, day of Jupiter. Jupiter has been in your sign for a little while now. It will be going backwards soon into Aquarius, as it is going retrograde. Pisces, I feel like I need to be quiet for you. There is a need to surrender everything. I don't know what it is. Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Take a breather from everything, all of it. Enjoy silence. Really, really let yourself feel expansive as you draw back from the world and become a little bit more calm, like a scintillating sea that is rippling the sunlight off of its water. Five of Pentacles has been your obstacle recently. You've been very, very worried about whether or not you're good enough, whether or not you have enough to keep through the summer. You've been working really hard to not feel like a loser. It seems like Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising have been not feeling good. You felt like you were treated like shit. And this might not have to do, this is not necessarily having to do with your money matters, but I feel like this is coming from how other people made you feel or how you felt after giving so much of your generous spirit away. It seems like you've overdone it. So this has been a major obstacle, is not having enough boundaries. And as a result, you feel like you've overworked yourself and overdone of your empathetic attitude. Again, I think you really need a lot of silence for summer 2021. Pisces. You've been working on this. You've been working on getting to the next level, getting to the next stage of your own being. You've been wanting to get your sense of personal power back. And I think that you should completely immerse yourself within your hopes and dreams. You've been working on transforming, and this is going to be like Aries, the first sign following you. You both have been wanting to achieve a sense of empowerment. But for Aries, this is a blessing that they're going to be encountering. For you, you've been actually putting in the effort. You know that this is going to make you feel so much more closer to what you want your hopes and dreams to look like. You've been wanting to strive for your aspirations. And this is Pluto, and I feel like maybe you've put in a lot of effort, too much effort into certain spaces, especially having to do if it has to do with acquaintances, people that you know or people that you're taking care of, clients perhaps. Perhaps you haven't placed enough boundaries in terms of your limit, because you've been limiting yourself unconsciously with Saturn in your 12th house. You really need to be careful to not overdo it in terms of your own personal power and how much you're dedicating yourself. You need to make sure that you're dedicating yourself to your own sacred space. And I think that you could try to be a little bit selfish for summer, Pisces. Jupiter has been giving you teasers of what you need to do for yourself in order to see expansion in your own life. And so now that it's slowly going to be going back until it goes forward in your sign again in December, before we hit 2022, you really need to surrender all the karmic chains that you've created, I think, as a result of giving all of your resources away, overdoing your generosity. And as a result, you now want to reclaim your intensity for your own life. You want to feel like you're living meaningfully, right? And you're meaningful. I mean, you're very meaningful in your relationships with other people, but I think that sometimes you allow for other people to absorb you out of your own divinity. And so there comes a point where you're exhausted emotionally because you didn't even realize that you just without any consciousness, Pisces has a lot of trouble controlling their, I guess, personal character. Sometimes you do everything so naturally and seamlessly that you forget that you have to go a certain way. You have to keep yourself in check as to not lose yourself along the way, so that you don't feel like a prisoner of life, if that makes sense. But so this is what you've been working on. And I want you to continue that work. I'm actually really proud. And this has been a very important card for me personally as well. Recently, it's been coming up too in certain ways. But ultimately, what is our focus? What is our end goal? What do we want for summer? What are we needing to really pay attention to? What is the catalyst to summer 2021 for you, Pisces? And then when the new moon in Virgo hits on September 6th, on Labor Day, you're going to see there's definitely going to be hope, a sense of hope in relationships. I think that you're going to meet new people. You've been very discouraged by the open-ended relationships you've known because you've allowed for them to step over you. And so now there's an effort being made to bring back that intensity and focus on personal matters. The focus. This card has been unbelievably coming out so often for so many readings, but for you, it's coming out in reverse. I think you're the only one with this right now. So this is your focus, getting out of your depressive rut. I think that right now you're so exhausted right now. And I think that this effort that you're going after, wanting to reclaim your power, I think you're going about it a little bit too forcefully. Weirdly enough, I think that you need to actually get yourself to do things a little bit differently. On an emotional level, there's a need to go after excitement. What does excite you? Jupiter in Pisces is gonna create that. You're gonna need to find hobbies, outlets that are outside of your usual daily pattern. And so when we have Mars and Venus conjuncting later in July with the moon in Leo, which will be your 6th house, you're going to need to you're going to have to change a lot of what you're going after and how you're creating certain things, if that makes sense. You're going to have to attack life in a different manner that is a bit more pleasurable rather than exhausting, right? A lot of this stuff is tiring. Because, when we talk about the Taurus Scorpio energy here, it's very tiring. We're placing a lot of expectations. We're putting a lot of effort, intensity in ways that don't serve us, and we give it out to people that take it for granted. So the focus for summer, okay, and this is the card of Cancer. So we do have the sun in Cancer right now until the 20th of July. So for the next several weeks, especially July, Pisces, you need to force yourself to challenge what you've done, how you're enjoying life and how you're striving for certain things in life. There's a need for a reconstruction of how you go out and participate in the world and how you live your life or do things from home. There's like a yin and yang balance there needing to happen, especially with the moon conjunct. Perhaps you need to reevaluate what you do on a daily basis and how that's making you feel, and whether or not it's making you feel bored or down, or whether or not it's making you feel excited. And if it's making your heart beat a little bit louder from a sense of glee and childlike excitement. But you're going to have to, I think, force yourself to not perhaps do things that make you feel exhausted, whether it be emotionally and or physically. I think that your spirit has been sapped as a result of being overly open and generous in the certain habits you've lived by in a very uncontrolled way. Now is the time to maybe fish yourself out of the abyss. Save yourself. Don't drown in the pain. Don't drown. Get yourself out. And if you do, listen to that advice, if you do save yourself and dance around by yourself during summer, do things for yourself right now. Include joyous moments. There's a need to bring back innocence again, right? Pisces having so much wisdom that sometimes brings in a lot of inherent sadness. Now, although life is made up of joy and sadness, we live our lives predominantly as an adult, so we do need to consciously make an effort to laugh, play, and enjoy. We have to make those efforts. And I have a card falling on Judgment here. Two of Cups is, again, I think you've been making an effort. You realize that the people that you're constantly in contact with, you realize that's the source of the lack of personal power that you're feeling. And I feel like this is especially the case in a public space, in career. It has to pertain to, I think, a job where you take care of people or you give them, it's like you're mentoring them, but you've overdone it, and you need to work on a balanced exchange now. And this is a card of Cancer again. So I think that, again, you need to reevaluate how much you're giving of yourself in those spaces, those public dynamics. So if you do reel yourself out, you take care of yourself, if you do the playful work, what awaits you? By the new moon in Virgo. Six of Cups, lots of cups here, and a major arcana that's water-based. But a lot of, there's fixed and cardinal stuff too. Not a whole lot of mutable. There's a need to, so the blessing is, what did I say about child play? Your life is going to feel a lot more meaningful. Around the new moon in Virgo, you're gonna start feeling like, you know where you want to go in your personal life, and how you want your environment to feel like, because it seems like the environment you live in is all up in there in an emotional, it's like you're marinating in water that's not so, it's murky, it's almost like a swamp, and you're walking through it and your feet are getting being that sound, but they're getting sucked up, like you're having trouble lifting yourself through. Um, and it's almost like you're not even aware of your own, you are not even present in your own space. You're present in a different space that has to do with burnout when it comes to you giving off your time to other people. And the gift is a much more meaningful and pleasurable life that will feel like you're living as a child again. You're allowed to have fun and play. And it's a 6 of Cups, so we're, on the falling on the new moon in Virgo, the 6th of September. There's a sense of balance, of personal balance, really activating for you. But on the other hand, if you decide that no, you're just gonna continue feeling like a martyr and you're gonna feel like a prisoner by subconsciously doing the same, partaking in the same behavior where you're overly open and you don't have, if you continue to lose boundaries, the three of Wands falls, and it falls as hidden on top of that. So the danger is you're not going to live your life. You're going to live the same life, and you won't even realize it. Nothing's going to change in your life. So if you felt very disappointed and your resources have felt low and your physical well-being has been sapped, you're going to continue feeling the same way, and you might not even realize it. Time will go by, and then years on, you'll regret it. That's what it feels like with the Three of Wands falling flat, hidden. You'll see opportunities go by you, and it'll be, you won't even realize it. You'll be so busy being a sacrificial lamb for others again. So overall, lots of water cards, like I said. Again, there's a need to really assess how you're feeling. Because you've had a lack of structure in organizing your life and making room for fun time. I want one card right now. I want one card that will be the key ingredient for summer 2021. Ace of Cups upright. There's a need to get back in touch with what makes you excited, what makes you feel creative, getting connected with your favorite music playlist. I don't know. Get really visceral with your emotional world. Be innocent, free, excited. And this might be, I feel like with the with the Four of Cups reversed, you might actually need to go to a source of water to feel much better. To go, I don't know if you're able to, at the beach, at a lake, a river, maybe like a forest where they have a stream of water. You might need to actually go there to feel much physically better from this, and to reset your baggage that you've carried on as a result of perhaps overdoing it in emotional dynamics where you've lost your sense of presence in your own life. And so in your subconscious, what do we have? Oh my God. 10 of Wands. Upright. You're doing too much. There's a need to drop a lot of responsibilities, and you're afraid. You're afraid, you're still holding on. You're afraid that people are gonna, they're gonna be leaving you, or none of that matters right now. I think that you want to look at after yourself. You're being overly generous, and you're also living as a slave without realizing it. Maybe not as terribly as Capricorn, but I think that perhaps it's coming from a place of caring too much, perhaps. So what is an insight card for you, my Piscean friends, my Carps? What do you need to know for summer 2021? What is something to really keep into account? I was just looking at this card twice at least. It was at the bottom. Right hand, empathy. Empathy. Again, being overly empathetic to others, but I feel like in this case, with the figure holding its hands like that, I feel like you need to be tender with yourself. Very, very tender with your emotional world. How do you feel? Are you agitated? Are you exhausted? Are you feeling down? Be kind to yourself. Receive the joy of life. Bring it in before you're able to be ready for others again. There's a need to rebalance your life by putting on the veil and being kind to yourself in your own little world. To be very gentle with your approach to life. And ultimately, we are bringing back a sense of nostalgia. I think that you want to allow yourself the possibility to live as a child. So I am way above the, this is probably the longest reading out of all the signs, but I think you guys really deserve it. And like I said, you're the only ones that I'm recording on the 1st of July. So during Cancer season, especially Cancer season, you need to take care of yourself, Pisces. Treat yourself to the joy of life as a child, okay? You don't have to be the wise one for everyone right now. We'll see you next time. Take care.